Is it possible that I can ask a second question, even
Sure.
though I guess that first one was kind of two in one?
It's okay. Yeah, go ahead. Wawe. Okay.
Okay. Before I do, I just want to give a little context first and give some thanks to what you guys are doing. I just came in contact with your channel. Probably maybe it's been about 3 or 4 months now, and I'm just kind of blown away as someone who has been. Um, indulged in esoteric knowledge for some years now. You guys just seem to dump knowledge, answer all of these questions without having your hand out and expecting, anything necessarily in return. And the only word I can really think to describe that is really righteous. So I really thank you guys for what you're doing. I'm still learning about the movement here in Washington, D.C. and the DMV area, which is D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. I've, throughout my lifetime, actually met probably around 5 to 10 different women or young females who actually claim to be um, direct daughters of Dr. York. So I've always had a bit of interest in what this thing was really about. And just as fate would have it, I came across you guys' stuff, and I've really been checking it out as much as I can. And I'm actually bought some of his books. Just last night, I got one titled is I think it was like, is God a extraterrestrial? I think that was the title of it,
Right.
something like that.
So
But
we want to appreciate love you just before you ask the question, and I'm glad that you took it there and mentioned the master teacher partner Babyanun, because we are student teachers and we just relay the information that we have accumulated from being students of him over the years, and it's important to always remember that he is the source of the information, and that yeah, we're just doing our best, and so yeah, we want to appreciate love you for your kind words. But yeah, go ahead and ask your question.
and I thought that I should give that context first because I don't want this question to come off like I'm being like facetious or anything or trying to be disrespectful because I'm not. This is an honest question that I really want to know.
Tua.
If Dr. York is the high being that is stated, um, then how is it that he has not been able to free himself from the situation that he's in, which I don't fully understand the situation, but I do understand that he's been in prison for a while. So I'm just curious of how he's allowed these lower beings to shackle him and not be able to release himself
Tua.
respectfully.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't mind questions, and that's not the first time we've had that question, and it's a fair question because people want to know and they ask that question. The thing with that question is that we have to remember that these beings are highly intelligent, and so even though we might look at things from a perspective like, why are they doing this or why are they doing that, they have a reason and a purpose for it, and the greater outcome will only be known at such a stage where they make it available. However, what we have learned is that it's not him that is in prison, but us, and we mean that in the, not obviously his physical body is incarcerated, but it's a ultimate test for us to see that we have learned the lesson that is known as love, or ashuk in our language, like love and unity, because he said that love and unity is what will free him, and we still have this. It's like all these years we've been taught how to come together and how to love each other and not try to constantly like prove a point, or everybody wants to win an argument. Everybody wants to, say they're right. But he has managed to literally humble everyone and say, all you guys have to do is come together and live Wu-Sabat, live your culture, and love and unity. And once we do that, and it's spreading, and the more people that start to resonate on that frequency, I mean, he's definitely going to come out. And I always say to people, don't talk about it as if it's past tense. Now, when we reverse that question and say, name me one person, anybody that has ever come to this planet or that has tried to stand for righteousness, liberation. And when we even mention someone like Jesus, people say, I don't know, they don't want to deal with that. But it's like, if he's considered, everywhere you go in the world and on a daily basis, you're going to hear people use that word constantly. But when we ask the question and say, if he came to save the world, but then he got crucified according to their stories, and he wasn't able to save himself from that demise to that level. And you can name all the prophets. You know, Muhammad got poisoned. You can name, most of the people that people consider to be righteous men. We can talk about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Noble Jew Ali, name them all, right? This is something they've had to endure and go through. And it's the ultimate sacrifice to show that you're willing, right? You're a willing sacrifice. Not, we don't obviously encourage any sort of rituals or blood sacrifices as you find in the Bible and the Quran and these religious books, but it's like, for truth, I'm willing to put my life on the line. And that's a serious, position to be in, even with what we're doing, because it's like, truth is truth. There's nothing more or greater and noble than to tell the truth and expose lies. And that's what we're doing. So it's a matter of, do you stand for something enough to be that convicted to the point where you're like, you know what, even though I'm wrongfully incarcerated, I will actually, because there have been times when, he's been approached to like disown and denounce that what he's teaching, but he's like, no, this is his whole reason for incarnating. And so he continues to teach nothing but the truth, regardless, of what the subject matter is, regardless of, the skin color of, people. He just tells the truth. And so yeah, I hope that's helped, if not probe further. But it's really a test for us to see if we've learned the lesson of what we call ashuk, divine love. And until we kind of like, become more like those beings, that love that we're trying to, emanate from these higher supreme beings, we're going to keep being in this problem. But everyone that is learning, studying, and transforming themselves is, I guess, becoming more and more in terms of resonating on that vibration, on that frequency.